Hi there. Welcome to the Attachment Project series all about attachment. For as far back as I can remember, if I tried to identify a pattern in how I've acted throughout my life, there didn't really seem to be one. I always reacted to other people and situations according to whatever strategy I felt might work at a certain time. This meant that partners were never able to predict how I would respond to conflict. And you know what? Neither was I. My feelings were confusing and overwhelming to me. I wanted to be close to my partner, but also needed to push them away. Sometimes I even felt like I was disconnected from my relationships. Of course, this led to many difficulties holding down a successful one because my exes couldn't predict whether I would act affectionate and loving or distant and aloof towards them. It just became too much. Unfortunately, although I wanted to be loved within the relationship, I just didn't feel like I could let them get too close. Relying on someone else just felt too scary. My life was unpredictable, and so is how I acted within it. Then one day, I came across a concept called attachment theory. All of a sudden, the pieces of my life started to fit together as though it was a puzzle. For once, things made sense. After seeing a professional, my suspicions were confirmed. I have a disorganized attachment style, and it affected my actions within all domains of my life. But just knowing allowed me to start understanding. Yet it wasn't always easy. In fact, sometimes it still isn't. But understanding allowed me to make changes to my life. And if you have a disorganized attachment, I want those changes for you too. Through knowledge, self-development, and perhaps therapy, you too can make the transition towards more secure attachment and behaviors. Throughout this video, we will talk about how the disorganized attachment style typically forms, as well as how it can affect your thoughts and actions. If you think that you might have a disorganized style, or are curious about your attachment style in general, then you can take our free quiz and have your results back in a matter of moments. Having a disorganized attachment may mean that you went through more hardships as a child than others might understand, but you survived. However, we appreciate how difficult the pathway to secure attachment can be. If this ever feels too much, then follow our link to our relaxation video, or else check out our website for guidance. We're here to support you through every stage of your journey. The disorganized attachment style typically forms in the first 18 months of a child's life, as a response to the bond that they form with their primary caregivers. The roots of this attachment style are usually in perceived fear. This is because the child sees their caregivers as a source of fear. The genesis of this fear stems from chaotic, frightened, or frightening behavior from a caregiver. They may be frightened of looking after a child because they believe that they won't be able to do their job and parent effectively. However, they may also act frighteningly toward their child or other people. The child might even be exposed to traumatic situations, sometimes even abuse. This leaves the child feeling very confused. Their caregiver is supposed to be their source of safety. Should they seek comfort from them even if they fear them, or distance themselves from them and their scary actions? The thing is, sometimes these caregivers have unresolved trauma from their own childhood. This means that they don't know how to bond with their child, and as a result, the child starts to behave in a disorganized manner in an attempt to get their caregiver to connect with their needs. Remember, if your emotions start to feel overwhelming at any stage in response to this information, then make use of our relaxation script, or go to our page for guidance. You're not alone in this journey. You might find that some of the formative experiences associated with the disorganized attachment style fit closely with your life, but others not quite as much. This is because the disorganized attachment style can look very different for everyone who has it. For this reason, you might find that some of the following traits fit closely with your behaviors, but the others not so much. This is because you're switching between an internal battle between two behavioral patterns, one in which you desire attention and cling to your loved one to have your needs met, and another in which you expect them to hurt you or not meet your needs, so you distance yourself emotionally from them. The result of this conflict is an unpredictable pattern of behaviors. At times, this might look like needy and demanding actions. Because you desire to be loved, you may seek approval and attention from a loved one. Sometimes you might even become jealous and suspicious of any threat to the relationship, but this is because you feel unworthy of love and fear that your loved one will hurt or leave you. However, on other occasions, you might presume that your partner won't meet your needs or will hurt you. Therefore, you might shut down your emotions and distance yourself from them by becoming cold and dismissive. You are protecting yourself by not allowing yourself to get too close to the other person. As you can see, a disorganized attacher has a bit of an I hate you but don't leave me attitude in relationships. However, these aren't their only traits. You might also find that they can be unclear in their actions, they might also be manipulative and moody, and feel like they don't have an impact on their world. They might feel lonely and angry, disconnected from those around them, and feel helpless and struggle to make goals. In general, they have a hard time trusting and bonding with others. Even if you don't identify with all of these traits, I realize that all of this information might sound pretty negative. It did for me too, at first. But remember, you're also resilient. You made it as far as you did in life without being given the same opportunities as other people. Plus, believe it or not, there are some positives to having the disorganized attachment style. It's not all doom and gloom. In upcoming videos about the disorganized attachment style, we will not only discuss how it can affect how you act in social situations, such as friendships, the workplace, and relationships, but we will also talk about how it has bestowed you with certain strengths in our superpowers video. So make sure you don't miss them. Make sure to check out our comprehensive book, Attachment Styles, Ultimate Guide and Workbook, for more detail on attachment and attachment exercises. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.